Recently, I became a board member for the Arif Urban Agrarian Collective, AUAC for short, an urban agriculture operation created in cooperation with our founding farmers. The founding farmers consist of all women of color who immigrated from East Africa. The AUAC board will work hand in hand with our founding farmers to restore a community garden that was left abandoned for 5 years, the Peace Garden. This project will stand in direct opposition to the globalized market-based food system to center around building food sovereignty, distributing food to the local community and organizations for free, as well as incorporating education about how to grow your own food in a sustainable fashion. We will focus on fostering community, creating a place where community members can become involved in the restoration and process of growing. The garden will be a space where individuals of all backgrounds can come together to work on a shared project, building a sense of collective ownership. Furthermore, the project will emphasize sustainability in our operation using organic practices, bolstering biodiversity, and contributing to ecological well-being. The globalized food system is heavily reliant on industrial agriculture that centers around market-based logic that excludes the social and environmental cost of production, transportation, and consumption. The global food system is chock full of issues of food security, the use of biotechnology, artificial chemicals, rising food prices, and the environmental cost of growing and distributing food, a cost that has largely been externalized by the global food system, with research showing that industrial agriculture has eroded soils, made water unfit to drink, and increased pesticide resistance in insects. The globalization of food production has created a need for global distribution of food, which is often reliant on non-renewable resources like fossil fuels, which can produce a heavy emission of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide. In addition, the globalized market-based food system has led to an issue of centralization, where relatively few decision makers control the vast amount of resources, which has created a cultural and societal disconnect between consumers and producers, commodifying the food we eat and leading to urban dwellers as its passive consumers, increasingly alienated from its production. How does AUAC promote food sovereignty? Our operation has and will continue to focus on food for people by providing affordable, nutritious food at no cost to our community, particularly the most vulnerable members of our community. We value food providers by supporting our founding farmers, all immigrant women of color who face countless hardships and adversity in their journey to the creation of AUAC, where their input and wisdom is valued to the highest degree. We're localizing the food system by bridging the gap between consumers and producers to a place where they overlap, providing local communities with the opportunity to participate in the production and consumption of sustainable, nutritious food, resisting globalized market-based food systems and the disconnect they create. We put control in the local communities, where community members can serve as volunteers and influence the decision-making process within our shared garden space, ensuring diverse perspectives and rejecting the privatization of natural resources through laws, commercial contracts, and intellectual property rights regimes. We build skills and knowledge around sustainable agricultural practices through community engagement and the passage of knowledge from our founding farmers and fellow community members, serving as a multi-generational and ethnically diverse base of learning from each other, and contributing to further understanding of environmentalism, agriculture, justice, and sustainability. We'll work to create a mutually beneficial relationship with nature, including the preservation of biodiversity through agroecology, using organic methods that don't utilize harmful chemicals, GMOs, intensive practices, or monocultures that cause immense damage to the environment and contribute to climate change. How does AUAC foster community? AUAC teaches farming methods to community members and grows food for direct donation to local mutual aid organizations and food pantries. We are dedicated to the decommodification of food and food sovereignty through sharing the harvest among community and ensuring that all have access to free, fresh, and healthy food. We are providing a space where community members can engage in shared projects, particularly right now as the restoration efforts that are occurring in the garden, revitalizing a previously abandoned garden into a blossoming landscape that will continue to be shared with our local community. Our work on the Peace Garden has involved the local community and fostered relationships through collective efforts, where community members are inherently encouraged to bond around shared space. AUAC is a relatively new nonprofit, and we have seen upwards of around 40 people contributing to some of our workdays thus far. We've hosted a number of events where community members can partake in a variety of different activities, gardening being the primary activity, but we also engage community by teaching classes on the cooking and preservation of food, things like apple sauces, jams, preserves. We are currently establishing partnerships with San Diego's Food Bank's Fresh Rescue Program, San Diego's City College's Knights Table Food Pantry, the Food Shed Cooperative, We Got San Diego, College Area Community Garden, and a local school in Imperial Beach. How do we foster sustainability? Under the direction of our founding farmers, we will grow a variety of culturally significant and diverse food locally, using organic methods that are not reliant on external inorganic inputs. Studies have shown that diverse community gardens can improve local environmental conditions, influencing microclimatic conditions in urban areas, waste management, and the localization of food production to reduce food miles. Community gardens and the making of such a community place provides an opportunity for social and cultural interaction that form a basis for the evolution of socio-cultural sustainability. We place a great deal of importance on the socio-cultural aspect of our community garden, inviting people from all walks of life to engage with fellow members of our community in a variety of ways. The cultural background of our founding farmers has been a strong influence on the operations and have contributed to what we are growing and plan to grow in the future, emphasizing culturally relevant foods that are difficult to find in traditional markets. We are innovative in our design and horticultural techniques using organic East African farming practices that have been passed on to us by our founding farmers. We will subvert the global food system by providing an alternative local food system of provision through the free distribution of our produce, thus creating economic sustainability for vulnerable communities by reducing food costs to zero. So in conclusion, we're building food sovereignty, fostering community, and fostering sustainability through our efforts at the Peace Garden and what we are doing at Auac Urban Agrarian Collective. Thank you very much.